We have a need for emergency procedures when people are working at height. So if someone's working over a height of 2 metres, then we need to have an emergency procedure in place. If someone was working over 2 metres and the basket was to fail or they were to fall out of the machine, then there's obviously an emergency procedure to rescue that person. If a person working in the basket was to become sick, a crush risk or anything else where they weren't able to operate the controls or were stuck at height, we need to have somebody there to be able to lower them down. What we would expect in that situation is that the safety observer that is working with that person at height is able to use the ground controls and able to use these ground controls to lower that person down from the height to be able to rescue them. We talk a lot about training when it comes to the use of EWPs, boom scissors. One of the key things with a safety observer, the safety observer should be trained in the machine as well. One of the key things from a WorkSafe point of view, if we're to turn up on site and we're seeing somebody who is a designated safety observer, then we would be asking them to show us how they can lower that machine down. They should be able to come to the machine that they're the observer for, whether it's a scissor lift, whether it's a boom lift, and actually be able to show us how they're going to lower that machine to the ground with that person in it. Another key aspect of that safety observer, I guess, and that safety observer's role is not only to be able to bring the machine down, but it's also to identify what other hazards there are in the area. That could include knowing what crush risks there are overhead, external to the basket. It could also be what other plant is travelling or moving around on site, so to minimise the risk of collision with plant, and also to any pedestrians. So what we would expect is that safety observer, if a pedestrian was to come into the area, make sure the exclusion zones are set up, or warn operators, warn pedestrians in that area of that plant operating.